Hi everyone, it's John from What Up. Welcome back to another video. Now yesterday we got a bit of a surprise from Amazon. They dropped a small teaser on Twitter and we're going to unpack that in today's video. We're going to talk about the teaser, the music, some of the animation, what it could mean, and then we're going to talk about a few other things, including this image I have on the screen here. We're going to break all that down for those of you that don't use Twitter. Now, this is probably the 15th time I've done this introduction, and I was pretty excited because my last take went swimmingly. It was really, really good. And then I rewatched it and noticed I had some breakfast in my beard. The whole time. I had a big piece of egg just sitting right. That's all I could look at. So I had to get it out and I had to redo it again. So, all right. So if you're not already a fan of the channel or a subscriber, please click that subscribe button and the notification bell. I usually put out 1 to 2 videos per week and they're all Wheel of Time centric. So essentially anything and everything to do with the production that Sony and Amazon is doing, I'll cover. Set photos, official news, leaks, rumors, and occasionally I get a few exclusives and break some news here and there as well. So if you like Wheel of Time news, follow me here. Also, at 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a contest. I'm going to be giving away some cool swag. I don't want to let you know what it is just yet, but as we get closer, I will talk more about that contest. So if you want to be entered in that contest, you do have to be a subscriber. Now, before we get into the video, spoiler warning. In this video, we're going to talk about the Wheel of Time teaser that was released yesterday. Now, there's not a whole lot of information in that that's going to spoil anything from the book series, but if you haven't read at least the first book of the series, that's Robert Jordan's The Eye of the World, be forewarned, I may spoil minor points from that book. All right, with that being said, let's get on to the video. All right, super cool. About 20 seconds or so, the longest teaser they've put out so far. And I know what a lot of you are thinking, especially fans of the series who know what this is, who've been following the Wheel of Time account for quite some time. This is not near as interesting as the Moraine, the Lan, the Matt, the Tam's Sword, Tom's Guitar teasers they've put out. If you don't know what they are, I've done videos on them in the past, and they were basically short clips or promotional materials made specifically just for the fandom. And I'm going to stand by that. They were made for the fandom. They weren't made for the general public. And I'm going to tell you why. So for the last 2 years or so, Amazon Prime has been marketing the show towards the fans. So there has been a Wheel of Time on Prime account on Twitter that changed into the Wheel of Time account recently that interacted with fans through Twitter on the Twitter of Time tag. So these are all people that knew the book series. We've all loved the book series and we all interacted on Twitter. So we got to see some things. We got to see some castings, some set photos, small teasers and stuff, all geared towards fans of the show. So we all knew what the books were, we knew what the characters were, we understood everything, and we were very excited to see this stuff. That changed a few months ago when Amazon decided that they're going to take the Moraine teaser, which came out, which is about 4 seconds long, and release it on the main Amazon Prime account to everyone. It went over like a lead balloon. I'm not going to lie. It didn't go over well. The fandom liked it. Even the fandom had some complaints about it because it was so short. But it was really very cool in my opinion. However, most people who don't know what the book series is, who don't understand what the Wheel of Time is, saw that and went, I have no bloody idea what we're talking about here. What is this? It was Rosamund Pike on the screen for 3 seconds with one short line, no tagline, no saying Wheel of Time, no release date, no nothing, no context. And they released that, which I think was a marketing faux pas, in my opinion, because a lot of people were like, oh, I don't know what that is. They did the same thing with the Lan teaser. And again, didn't go over really well with the general public because nobody hated it. It's just no one knew what it was. They didn't understand. So this teaser, even though it's not as exciting to us, this went out to the general public as well. And this is a far better start to a marketing campaign than anything else they've done so far because it says the Wheel of Time. It has the tagline. It tells you what the show is. It gives you a release window, 2021. So we know it's coming out in 2021 now for sure. We've been speculating for months and months that it's probably Black Friday this year, and I stand by that. We're probably going to see it in November. But nothing has been official from Amazon. They have not said anything to us except this. Now, this went out to the general public, and I'm not going to lie to you, a bunch of people at my work and people I talked to saw it. And these are not Wheel of Time fans. These are not fantasy fans, other than maybe watching The Witcher and Game of Thrones. They don't read books very often, these people I work with. But they saw this, and they were, oh, what's this? It's a new show. And they started asking around. They found out that I knew what it was. They talked to me about it a bit. and they got very excited. So this was a good way of marketing to the general public to let them know that there is a show coming called The Wheel of Time. It's coming this year, and then they go start digging. They find out what it is. They find, all the different YouTube channels that talk about it. They find all the promotional material online. They start digging into it, and maybe they'll pick up the book series. I talked to at least 2 people who are picking up The Eye of the World yesterday to start reading it because of this. So this, I'm going to say, is probably the actual official start of the marketing campaign, because everything else before this really didn't make much sense to the general public, but this does. This is right up there with what The Witcher did, what Game of Thrones did, what C did. A little bit of a title sequence, a little bit of information, the name, the release window, and that's it. And that's really all they need to start the marketing campaign to the general public. So, with all that being said, let's talk a bit about the actual teaser itself. It opens with this. Now, this is one of the scales of the Great Serpent, and it was kind of manipulated to be the symbol of the Aes Sedai, which was really, really very neat. That's an Easter egg to the fans. Anybody who doesn't know the book series would have no idea what this is, but we all did, and it was really very cool. From there, it went on, the Great Serpent uncoiled, and then you had the weird jumble of letters in the middle that kind of went all out to the sides, and said The Wheel of Time. So we're going to see this. This is what it ended up as. The Amazon original series, The Wheel of Time 2021. Gave us a release window. We know it's coming this year. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is the animation. The animation is really very neat, really very cool. The Great Serpent is really very Asian in inspiration, and so is the music, which is really very cool. I think that's a lot of the vibe they're going for here, and I like the music. Now, we still don't really know who the composer is for the first season yet. It was David Buckley, and then he removed himself from the show. From that, there was no real announcements who the composer was, but if the music is sort of in this style, I'll be very happy, because it was really well done. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is some changes to the Wheel of Time Twitter account and this image right here. So this image was the profile picture that was changed. So yesterday when the teaser was announced by the Wheel of Time Twitter account, they changed their profile picture. Now if you went on desktop and hit view profile when you see the profile change, you're only going to see the circle in the middle. That's it. You didn't see anything else. However, on a phone, if you click view profile, you get this big square with those words in the upper left hand and right hand side. And we're going to talk about the translation of those here in a second. What they also changed was this. They changed it to say, an Amazon original series coming 2021, post by the Twiiter of Chaos, Gai-Shan to the Twitter of Time, which is kind of neat. A little bit of Easter egg to the fans. People who haven't read The Wheel of Time won't know what that means, but I think it's a little on the nose, but it is kind of neat that they did that. It shows that the person running the account, or the people running the account at least anyway, understands the book series a little bit. So, back to that original picture that we talked about here. WhatSeries.com tweeted this out, and what had happened is a lot of people noticed this at the same time, and they noticed those words, and they are Old Tongue. I noticed it within 2 minutes of it being tweeted out. I grabbed my companion, which is up there on the shelf behind me, you can see it, and I leafed through it, found the dictionary, and I translated it. Now, it's a very loose translation, because some of it doesn't really fit. Now, the Old Tongue isn't really the same as English or any other words, so there's some interpretation here. But there are a few key elements here, and everyone came up with pretty much the same translation, plus or minus a syllable or two, or a word or two, but it is, here is always a welcome for the people of the dragon. So essentially what they're saying is they're calling the fandom the people of the dragon, which is very neat. I mean, other people have interpreted it to be Dragonsworn. Other people have interpreted it to be the dragon's peoples, different things like that. But it's all pretty much saying the same thing, that people of the dragon are the fans, which is neat, but also kind of a spoiler if you haven't read the book series, but you wouldn't know what it is anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So again, if you want to see this symbol in its full glory with the little Easter egg, the words of the Old Tongue there, you need to be on a phone, and you have to click view profile picture from their Twitter account, and then you can see this square and you can see those little words. I fully expect a bunch more Easter eggs like this as it's coming out, and when the show comes out, one of the things I'll be doing is Easter egg videos, because they're going to put a whole bunch of stuff in there for the fans of the book series, because the show will not be identical to the books. It will be inspired by another turning of the wheel. Spirit and Spine, as Rafe said, will still be there, but it's not going to be shot-for-shot remake, but they will have some Easter eggs in there for the fans that when we see it, we'll go, I know what that is, and then the person sitting next to you who's never read the series will go, I don't know what that is, which is very neat. All right, now the last thing I want to talk about is how that symbol, that WT symbol, relates to some other very popular symbols that are out there right now. All right, so now we're going to talk just a bit about this symbol right here. Now, this is what I assume will be the Wheel of Time symbol for the show. I assume. I don't really know for sure. No one really does, but it's what they're using as their profile picture on Twitter. I've seen it all over the place now. It's bound to be on merchandise. It's my guess. We're probably going to see mugs and T-shirts and all kinds of stuff with this on it. And I, for one, will buy everything Wheel of Time related. I'm just going to. There's no doubt in my mind. Board games, pop figures, whatever they have, I'll buy. And I think we're going to start seeing the symbol more and more and more. But when I first saw it, I recognized it. And I'm sure a lot of you in the fandom did too. And you thought, well, that looks similar to something else I've seen before, but you didn't make the connection, or maybe you did. Maybe you're much smarter than me. I didn't make the connection first, not until someone actually pointed it out to me. When they pointed it out to me, I can't unsee it anymore. So when I look at this, which I assume will be the Wheel of Time symbol for the show, and then you look at this, and you look at this, there's similarities there. Now, maybe not so much with the dire wolf and whatnot because of the way it's done, but it's silver, it's embossed looking, it's very cool looking. And then you have the dragon, circular, very Asian inspired design, embossed metal. And then you have the great serpent and the W&T, circular, embossed metal, same sort of design style. Now, they're not similar enough that it's going to cause any problems in any way, shape, or form, but they were similar enough that I noticed that I had seen this somewhere else before, and I'm sure some of you have as well. And when you take a look at this symbol versus this symbol, they're very different, but they're similar. And that might be enough for people who don't know about the series, don't know anything about the Wheel of Time, but know Game of Thrones to make the connection. So the thing is, with Game of Thrones, Song of Ice and Fire was a very popular book series, but the popularity of the show dwarfed it 1,000-fold. I know far more people who know about Game of Thrones from the show and that don't even know it's a book series. Wheel of Time will probably be the same. There are a lot of book fans out there, millions of us, but we're going to be completely eclipsed by all of the people who watch the show and are fans of the Wheel of Time because of the show. It's just the way it is. And with a symbol like this, and now I'm not saying this is on purpose, maybe this was completely a design accident, but if it was on purpose, it's pretty smart. And Amazon has a lot of smart people working for them, so maybe this is the case, or maybe I'm completely talking out of my butt here and I'm being stupid. And if I am, please let me know in the comments down below. There's enough similarities between the two, and at least for me, what I think of is I'm going to associate the Wheel of Time symbol a little bit with this, which makes me associate it with a streaming service, which makes me associate it with a fantasy show. So if I don't know what the Wheel of Time is, automatically I'm going to see this and go, it's probably a streaming service fantasy show, and I don't know why, but it's because of the similarity to this. So there's that. I just want to get that out there. I'm sure someone else in the fandom is going to make the comparison sooner or later. But again, it had to be pointed out to me. So I didn't really make the connection, but I did see this and go, I've seen something like that somewhere before, and I don't know where, and I think that's where. So if it's on purpose, kudos to Amazon. That's super smart. If it's not on purpose, again, it's probably going to have that unintended effect, at least in my opinion. All right, so that's all I got for you today. Let me know in the comments down below if you think my comparison of the symbols is outlandish or if it makes sense. Let me know what you think about the teaser itself. Do you think that it's a good idea they're marketing something like this to the general public? Do you like the music? I really like the music. I really would like to know who the composer is because that's fantastic. Do you like the animation? I did. Do you like the fact that it started out with a small Easter egg to the fans? I really did. Let me know what you think about the teaser and how excited are you for the show to come out late this fall. I mean, we don't have an exact date yet, but again, all my sources keep telling me Black Friday-ish, so I'm really hoping that we're going to get it probably in November. Earlier would be better, don't get me wrong. I would love to see it 2 weeks from now, but it's probably not going to happen because they still have some stuff to film for Season 1 in late July, so there's that. But let me know what you folks think down below in the comments. Thank you so much for sticking with me here to the very end, and here's to many more.